This wasn't exactly a video I anticipated making, nor really wanted to make. This was an anime I very much enjoyed at first. It was hilarious, and there was a lot of fun in watching it. Season 2 looked to be on the same path, but the later half just completely changed my opinions, and the ONA for Season 2 completely tore everything apart. What's going on, everybody? This is Rappers from Rose TV. In this video, we're talking about Oreimo, and before you say anything, yes, I am fully aware of what kind of content this anime contains. I know full well what I was getting into when I decided to check this anime out. This does not change my complaints, however. At the end of the day, I watched nearly 30 episodes, everything in the show built practically to just be knocked right back over, at least in my opinion. Spoilers will be discussed throughout this video, so be warned if you have not already watched this show. If you like content like this, be sure to like this video, drop a sub. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to suggest an anime I should watch or review in the future. Now, before I get into any of my nitpicks, I will list some of the good things about Oreimo. First and foremost, the comedy is amazing. Nearly every episode had me just dying of laughter, and some of the embarrassing situations the cast of characters got themselves into was just peak comedy. No matter how disappointed I am in some aspects of the show, I cannot sit here and deny that Oreimo is one of the funniest and most hilarious animes that I've seen. There's also some pretty great characters. Aragaki Ayase was a very enjoyable character, especially in Season 2, and I can't really blame you if you shipped her with the main character in the series, Kyosuke something. Can't pronounce anything. Saori was also fun when she had screen time, although I don't really have much else to say about her. And this one comes as no surprise, but Koroneko I can't even pronounce English, wound up being by far my favorite character in the series. Her Chunibyo-like behavior is a whole lot of fun, and I guess I just have a thing for characters like that. Season 1 was also very enjoyable, and I rated it an 8.5 out of 10. Here's all my sub-scores for the first season, as, unlike my usual videos, I won't really dive too deep into each of those aspects. Now, the ONA for Season 1 was perhaps one of the highlights of the series, but I'm probably pretty biased here in more ways than you're thinking. The ONA was a branch out following the 11th episode of the first season, truly adapting the original story from the light novel, whereas episode 12 was actually an original ending written specifically for the anime. The comedy is great as per usual, and Les Kirino was a lot better, and she's Kyosuke's younger sister if you didn't already know. More on her later, but this season's ONA was about the closest to perfection there was. Alongside the 7th and 8th episodes of Season 2, where Kyosuke and Koroneko are dating, perhaps the best episodes in the series. Yeah, that's right. I started an incest anime, knowing it was an incest anime, and ended up shipping a non-incestuous ship. Bite me! Anyways, here's all my scores for the Season 1 ONA, also not gonna dive too deep into these as well. There's a lot to enjoy about this anime, and for the reasons I listed so far, I don't regret watching Oreimo. Now it's time to get into the bad stuff, and oh fucking boy. So for some backstory, Koroneko has this book of all the things she wants to do with Kyosuke through the relationship midway through Season 2, such as inviting him to her home, going on a date, among other things. And everything's going well, and honestly, I'm really enjoying this stuff. Until the final page comes. This might be a slight over-exaggeration because it's just an anime. My heart practically stopped when I saw it. I already knew this was going to happen at some point, given this was an incest anime, but it was still a massive shock to me. Everything continues in the 9th episode, when it turns out that Koroneko transferred to a whole new school, later it being that her entire family had moved. Kirino and Kyosuke track her down and confront her about what happened, and it's revealed that the reason she had asked Kyosuke out was to get I can't break it. To admit her true feelings towards him, which is just, it's just an anime moment. Only in anime would anything like this ever happen. In all honesty, Koroneko and Kyosuke should have just stayed together. Like, who the fuck cares what Kirino thinks? Maybe I'm just biased because I never really liked her all that much. Anyways, there were some heartwarming moments between Kirino and Kyosuke throughout this arc, but it just does not remove the sour taste from this ridiculous plot twist. Episodes 10 and 11 are alright, like, there's funny moments and all, but nothing really feels the same after the whole massive plot twist that the anime brought on all of us. Episode 12 is pretty good as well. Now, I am a little biased over the whole Koroneko ship falling like the fucking Titanic, but putting all that aside, it was nice to see Ayase helping Kyosuke out at his place, where he had to move to prior to mock exams and shit. The episode ends with another love confession, this time from Ayase, although she's turned down since Kyosuke is a siscon. The final episode isn't really too important to the topic of the video, but to summarize, it's a flashback to when Kirino and Kyosuke were little, showing how they used to be close, but then as Kyosuke grew older, they became more distant, leading into the events of Season 1 to present day, and Manami had some involvement in that. I will talk a little bit more about her later, although she's not going to really be important to this video. Here's all my scores for Season 2, and you can see that's a massive drop-off between seasons. Now, on to the absolute cesspool of this series, and that is the Season 2 ONAs. Perhaps the worst piece of media that I've ever fucking seen in my life. Episode 14 is a painful one for Kuroneko fans like myself, and I'm probably mispronouncing her name so fucking bad. I don't even care at this point, though. Because she gets officially rejected by Kyosuke, as he's solely focused on Kirino at this point. It kind of hurts seeing her break down, and it probably would have hurt more if I hadn't accidentally watched this scene after finishing the first season, thinking that I was watching the Season 1 ONAs when I fucking wasn't. Now, at the end of the episode, following a chase down on Kirino, Kyosuke confesses his love for her and asks her to marry him in public, confessing your love for your sister in front of a bunch of strangers, and having the altercation between Kyosuke and Kuroneko, which was secretly recorded, being played out on speakers for everyone to hear. Good fucking lord. The embarrassment is on an entirely different level. It is horrid, but I guess it got the job done for Kyosuke's true feelings to make their way to Kirino, who accepts the proposal. Oh lord. Like I said, I already said this before, but I'll say it again. I walked into this anime knowing it was incestuous, so I would have been totally fine with a relationship, but the setup and lead up toward it was just so frustrating that at this point I can't support it anymore, bro. What the fuck? What's even more frustrating, you ask? Well, let's take a look at episode 15. Kaneko, one of Kirino's friends, seemingly for zero fucking reason, confesses her love to Kyosuke in front of a bunch of strangers. Why? I'm just gonna assume that there was more story between these two in the source material, because in the anime, there is hardly any depth in the relationship between the two. Aside from the Living Alone arc late in Season 2, and the occasional performances where Kaneko performed as Meruru, I forgot this girl even existed. What was even the point of her confessing her love? Especially when she just shrugs it off right after. Unlike the rest, like, this just feels like they put this scene in there for the shits and giggles. It has absolutely no depth. It means absolutely nothing to the story in the end. I don't even think she appears in the final episode. Bro, come on. We finally reached the final episode of this absolute shit train. Let's go. You thought my gripes were over with? Absolutely fucking not. Manami, Kyosuke's childhood friend, fights Kirino and expresses her anger over Kirino and Kyosuke's relationship, bringing out how wrong it was and how it damaged their social reputations down the line, because, you know, incest is wincest! Woohoo! And, of course, another love confession and another rejection to go with it, as Kyosuke is literally dead set on being with Kirino, even if it wasn't normal. The two hold a pseudo marriage. I don't know how that. Before ending the relationship, as they had agreed to do at graduation in episode 14, though we didn't actually hear them say this. It was a bit of a little secret. Now, you don't know how frustrating it was to watch all these rejections happen. The worst of them being with one of my favorite characters, so Kyosuke could be with his sister, only for them to not even stay together. Everything the show is building, with the exception of the bond between Kirino and Kyosuke, which I understand was probably one of the more important parts of the series to begin with, was seemingly destroyed with this ending. Now, I did do some research after I finished this show. There is implications that Kirino and Kyosuke are actually still together. One of those being the kiss Kyosuke gave Kirino at the end of the episode, as part of their earlier bet, where if Kyosuke passed his mock exams, he could have any wish he wanted, the kiss being that one wish. This kiss was supposedly to break the promise to go back to being normal siblings after they graduated. Now, if you knew this or figured it out, maybe it brings you closure after all the damages earlier in the series. But I just don't think this is something that everyone would pick up on. And even after I learned all of this, it still doesn't help the emptiness that I felt ever since the final page of Kuroneko's notebook was revealed. That's where everything just fucking got destroyed. Like I said earlier, The mini arc where Kuroneko and Kyotosuke dated was perhaps my favorite part of the series, so seeing all that crash instantly the very next episode was just crushing. This mess, known as the Season 2 ONA, only made things worse, which is why I had no choice but to give it the lowest rating that I've ever given any anime I watched, at a lowly 2.2. If anyone wants to go ahead and say that I'm just biased because, you know, I'm a huge fan of Kuroneko, I mean, even before the whole Kuroneko arc and everything, I was still quite a bit of a fan of Season 2. It was going pretty great. Maybe not as great as Season 1, but it was still good. And then it just absolutely fell apart. I won't say too much about Manami, but holy crap, I did not know about this whole fucking theory that she's evil and everything. Like, damn. Look, it hurt to make this video, man. It hurts to have to make this video, because this is an anime I really enjoyed at first, for its comedy and its characters, until it was all just completely ruined and obliterated. Thank you for watching this video about the biggest mid-series collapse that I've ever fucking watched. Let me know what you'd like to see next on this channel. This is Rapros from Rose TV, signing off. Peace out, everybody.